Hello and welcome to Living Right with Chris. My name is Chris Iswekin and I am excited to welcome you to the month of October. This is October 1st and my country celebrates her 65th um, years of independence from colonial rule, and it's a great feeling, but leaves one with a lot of introspection. You get so the thoughts I'll be sharing for this month will be dedicated first to my country, Nigeria, and but it's applicable to every life. It's applicable to families. It's applicable to corporations and businesses, and of course, it's applicable to countries all over the world. I'll be sharing thoughts on how um, a life can achieve success, and also for businesses and families and nations all over the world. I'll be sharing this on a weekly basis for the course of this month and even beyond, because these are issues that really mean so much to me. But for today being 1st October, marking 65th independence, I want to look at the very foundation for which a life can make progress, or a family, or a business, a corporation, or a nation can truly, you know, make success um, out of their life. And that foundation is vision. Vision is the foundation for any successful life. Right? We cannot lead a successful life without vision. You can't run a successful family without vision. A family vision. You can, you know, lead an organization, without a corporate vision. You can't, lead a nation or run a nation, as it were, without a vision for that nation. Because vision is like the yardstick for which you measure the progress. So there is no success. What do you measure success with if there is no vision? Vision is like your why. It's like um, your purpose. Why are you here? What are you doing? So your success is only measured based on your end game or end goal at heart. And that's what vision is about. So where there is no vision, it's like there's no purpose. And um, an author once said, I think late Miles Moreau of blessed memory, he said, where the purpose of a thing is not known, then abuse is inevitable. So when there's no vision for your life, then abuse, anything goes. Even the Holy Bible says that uh, without vision, the people perish. They cast off restraints, meaning they can do anything. It is vision that focuses one, you know, on doing the things that they ought to do to achieve the end goal at heart. And someone defined vision. He said, "Is a vision is the ability to see things the way they ought to be, and not as they are." Is and the determination to bring what you have seen to pass. That is vision. You see things the way they ought to be, not just the way they are now. And then you have the determination, you know, to bring to pass in reality what, you know, as it ought to be, what you have seen. You get that's what vision is about. Vision is more in depth when compared to imagination. We can imagine things, we can um, wish for things, and that's what imagination does. It just ends at, those wishful thinking and those wishes we have in our hearts, a strong desire, for certain outcome, but vision is beyond just a strong desire. It's beyond imagining things. It's a step ahead of imagination because of the willingness to now bring, you know, to pass what you have seen. So it's not just mere wishes, but you are putting the work to bring to reality what you have envisaged. And that's what vision is all about. And you know that to be visionary, you must understand history and destiny. You know, when we talk about vision, you can't craft a successful vision for your life. You can craft a successful vision for your family. You can craft a successful vision for your organization or for your country unless um, you understand where you're coming from. Because the happenings of the past, without thorough knowledge of it, replicates what happens in the present and even in the future. And that's why most times we see things coming up repetitively in our lives because we have not been able to understand where we are coming from. So understanding history is key, to creating a vision. And then understanding destiny. Where are you going to? That now helps shape what's the outcome that you want at the end of the day. You see countries that have vision, and the, in fact, what differentiates countries from others, one country from the other, is the power of their vision. While other countries are struggling, just taking each day as it comes, there are countries who have sat down to say, okay, where are we coming from? And then they have curated, you know, where they want to be and how they want to get there. What is our vision for education, for example? What's our vision? I'm talking about as a country. Today we celebrate independence. What's our vision for social justice? What's our vision for security? What's our vision for social welfare? What's our vision for the sanctity of life? What's our vision for this nation? They always talk about in America, for example, the United States of America. They always talk about the American dream, and every American understand from childhood what the American dream is about, and that helps shape their line of thought. Growing up through teenage age down to become adults. So before they become adults, they already have the American dream imbibed in them, and that's how nations grow to become successful. And that's how lives, individuals can grow too to become successful. Without a vision, you cast off restraint. And then anything goes. And a life that anything goes cannot really succeed. So for this month, we are focusing truly on creating a vision if you have not. I want to give an instance of um, one of the best early education the country with the best early education is Finland. And do you know that their vision for education is not, they don't take it as a common, it's well curated. Do you know that their children do not start formal education until they are 7? And you see in other countries, 2-year-old have you know, started schooling formal education, they're doing numeracy and, um, and they're doing formal education literacy and numeracy from 2. You know, when Finland started this, that a child must become 7 years of age before he or she starts formal education. And what they do between a 0 to to 7 is they emphasize more on play. They emphasize on social networking, so that children can learn social skills. They emphasize on training them on their family values. So that's the time to learn their family values, and that's the time also to learn the values of their nation. So by the time a Finnish child grows up, he grows up with a mentality of being a citizen of Finland. He knows their dream, he knows their vision, and he grows with it. And you know, when he begins to live his life or her life, he or she lives it in line with the vision of their country. And that's how societies are built to become successful. Without vision, people will cast restraint, and that's what we're seeing in a lot of countries, and especially in Africa. There's no well curated vision to say this is the collective vision for our country, and we must put hands together in agreement to work in line with this, because two cannot work together except they agree. That's what scripture says. And we see a lot of things happening in our nation today because there is no clear-cut agreement on the way we should go. Some people are saying, oh, we do not need Western education. Some are saying, okay, this is the kind of education that we want to give to our people. While some are saying, oh, um, this is the religion that should stand. Others are saying, oh no, this is the religion that it should be. And this just break us on, divide us on every front because we do not have a common vision. And do you know that it is that common vision that helps everyone to lay down their own ambition. Vision supersedes ambition. So if we have a common vision, you know, every individual ambition is placed at the background because we have agreed to say this is what we want as a nation. And also for individuals, we must have vision for our lives because if we do not know where we are going to, then we cast off restraint. Then we are not even in agreement with ourselves and begin to doubt every move that we make. We begin to second guess ourselves because we do not have a yardstick, an end goal to measure our progress. And I have said that to be visionary, we must first understand history. Because if you do not understand history, if you do not care about understanding the past, you will keep repeating the negative aspect of history. And little wonder we see people have, replication of the past in their homes, in their families, and in their lives as individuals. So if we must make progress with our lives as individuals, we must go back to our roots. I want to give you a challenge. How many of us, listening to me now, truly know um, our forefathers to the fourth generation? I mean, four generations before us. I mean, your father, your grandfather, your great grandfather, and your great great grandfather. Do you know who he was? Do you know what he did? Do you know the abilities he had? Why are some families so great? What happened? Where did it start from? How did it start? Why is your family great? How did it start? Or why are some families so poor and wretched? How did it start? How did it come about? What happened along the line? Have we taken time to understand history? Our own history to know where we are coming from. So for nations, have we taken time to understand the history of our nation? So when we're making our plans for our vision. We are curating our vision. We are creating it out of, in-depth understanding of who we are, where we are coming from, the negativities connected to us, and all of the positivities that connects to us also. What this does is it helps us, know the things to retain and the things to let go, and the kind of improvement, those areas that we need to improve upon. And when we do this, it can help us curate the vision that we have and the process to achieving that vision. So history is very important. People who do not care about history, they usually pay for it, and they pay dearly for it. So no matter how our nature or the nature of our history, whether good or bad, we have to be very intentional in studying them. We must begin to ask questions. Oh, my grandfather was a very wealthy man. He was a royalty. He had acres of land and he could farm, and he was able to send children to school, and they got an education. Oh, my great grandfather, or my great grandmother, for example, in our family, they know them as women who have strength. These are things that you should know about your family, even to 4 generations before you. Knowing history helps us to correct the present. It helps us correct the present. It helps us also, to filter out the negative aspects of our past. And this will help us achieve the vision that we are projecting for the future. History helps. It helps us to connect with things that are past. It helps us to make sense of things that are past, and then we can now use this knowledge, to correct our now for the future. That's what um, history does. And then destiny. Destiny talks about where we are going to, the end. How do we want it to be? Must understand how it has been and how we want it to be. So, bringing what we have known from the past, if it doesn't take us to that destiny that we so desire, then we can now work on everything that happened in our past, to correct them to achieve the destiny that we long. And that destiny is the vision, is the end goal. You want to be great, you want to be successful, you want to be impactful in your world, you must have a vision. And in having a vision, you must understand, you know, history and destiny. I want to thank you for, being here. I've said before that this would be um, a wake-up call, a series dedicated to my country, Nigeria. But it's not just to bless country. These are that they are foundations, they are principles that help build a life, a successful life, that helps build a successful business or a successful organization, that helps build a successful nation. As you stay along with me in this weekly um, thoughts that I will share, I want you to understand that um, it is it will be wrong to come and feast on this alone. Invite others. You like this channel? Give us a thumbs up, follow us, like this video, and then send it to friends and families among around you, because it is going to bless their lives. You're going to be seeing things the way they are and the way they ought to be, and then will help establish principles that would push us to achieving the kind of life that we want to achieve. Thank you for being here. And remember that living right is the only way worth living. Have a good month of October. And happy independence to every Nigerian. I'm a Nigerian through and through, and I'm very excited to um, be here October. It's always October is always for me a pleasant month, um, a glorious and a very enjoyable month for me, because um, it's a month of celebration, right? And I hope to see you next week. Bye for now.